Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan. Welcome to day 25 of our 100-day countdown to the best version of ourselves in the new year. Wow. 75 days down, 25 to go till that New Year's Eve party. I hope we will be celebrating. You know what? No matter how we show up, we have an awareness about us. We've made some better choices. Even if it's just one meal out of the whole day, even if it's one meal every other day, it's more than you were doing before, and that matters, okay? So feel good about yourself no matter what, but continue to strive towards that best version of yourself. I wanted to talk about self help. To an extent, of course, we can help ourselves. We have to have an intention of direction we're going in. We often need to do some footwork to make it happen. I mean, as my Tanny Raw says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And it may not be hers, but she says that, and that's who I heard it from, and I hold on to that. So, one other person out there, all the way like 30 years ago, literally 30 years ago, I got a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. And she since kind of became part of my life in a way through my sister, who actually befriended her and did several of the Hay House publishing radio shows and things like that. So it's kind of funny that it kind of evolved into her being part of our lives. But at the time, when I first read that book, You Can Heal Your Life, which came out in 1984, she was kind of one of the first of the self-help people that believed that your frame of mind could actually determine your body, what was going on in your body, and just recognizing that. So I actually pulled this up and I was going to read it. It says, first published in 1984, and right now you can get that book for I think the PDF version, it's like 272 pages, is a couple bucks. And you can get a used one, of course, for just a few dollars. But it says, first published in 1984, this was one of the pioneers in self-help books. Many of Louise L. Hay, she just goes by Louise Hay here, ideas have since been used and expanded upon by self-help gurus and holistic healers. It provides insights into the relationship between mind and body and shows how limiting thoughts, beliefs, and negative emotions. So not limiting your thoughts, but actually the limiting thoughts that you have, beliefs, and negative emotions effective and are linked to our physical diseases. She was the first person I ever heard disease as dis-ease from. That was like a really big part of her thing. So the key idea, and this is from her, is if we're willing to do the mental work, almost anything can be healed. The issues we are concerned about, body, relationship, money, usually stem from a deeper belief that we are not good enough. Our thoughts and beliefs shape our lives, and genuinely loving ourselves is the key to all self-healing. With the right mental work, we can turn around or create positive outcomes in any area that we desire. So, I'm a God person, so I do offer things up in prayer, but I know that God requires us to do the footwork. And there is no doubt that a positive mental mindset versus a negative one is going to promote the best version of ourselves. So some of the things that I liked about Louise were the different affirmations that she recommended. And again, it says for money, body, relationships, but also the physicality. I totally remember she had said that if your knee is hurting you have a knee injury of some kind, it might be an unwillingness to bend on an issue, like symbolic of the bending. And I have taken the time when I've hurt my knee to wonder, what is it I'm not bending on? And I can usually pinpoint something like that. Another one of hers was, if you had like a pain in your neck or a pain in your back, is someone being a pain in your neck? Is there someone that's unhealthy around you or trying to control you in some way? And do you need to let that go? There's just so many of them. And like I said, it's been a long time since I read it, but I definitely understand that mindset affects the body. Oh, I know a huge one over the years for me that she made me acutely aware of would be when I would lose my voice. And it was like, how do you not feel that you're being affirmed or heard in your life? Why is it that you cannot speak at this time? Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you the number of times that has taken place in my life. Well, the thing is, though, it wasn't just my voice healing the minute I recognized that I was being oppressed or didn't feel that I was being listened to, but actually the grace to sit in the quietness of not having a voice and go with, what God always suggests, that we have 2 ears to hear with and only 1 mouth to speak. And was there a chance that I should have been holding my tongue and listening more? So I thought that was kind of a kick. But it's definitely a book worth looking at if you're interested in affirmations, if you're curious about how your mind frame affects your body, if you want to explore a little more about your ability to affirm and love yourself. It got a little crazy for me as a Christian, and I don't want to say Christian because all Christians vary, but as a God-fearing individual is what I'll say, because for me, I always defer to the Lord and call on God. I definitely do my footwork, but I remember she kind of got into some stuff like we literally chose our parents and whatever, however they raised us or whatever as a consequence of our choice to choose them. And I couldn't get into all of that. Sorry, I just couldn't. I'm like, God is bigger than that. And he has a definite plan, and abuse is never acceptable, and there's no way I provoked people to abuse me. Like, I'm all for accountability, but not to the point of suggesting that I brought on being raped. I brought on being physically abused. I brought on, a desire to be an alcoholic when it's been generations of my Scotch Irish blood. It was so much bigger than I am. Being raped is just a dumbass who took advantage of me, right? And me fretting over not having the physical strength to pry him off. I can't get into all of that. Sorry, no. And that's kind of surprising coming from me because I'm such a shame-based person. You'd think I would welcome any of that and say, oh yeah, it probably is my fault. Yeah, no. All I know is that in the brokenness of my life, and so many people would be broken and may have even chosen to exit the planet. In the brokenness of life, God has only called me to joy. I mean, like this unbelievable joy, an ability to love others, to have compassion, to laugh in the face of the insanity. Grace, and that's not true for some. I've lost many people to suicide and death, many people. And I'm so sorry that not that they didn't have that equal grace. I'm sure God gives it to everybody, but that they weren't able to tap into it. And I just thank people on my walk, whether it was a terrible thing that I learned from or an amazing grace of love and generosity that I was able to grasp. People who modeled compassion to the point of me gaining a compassionate heart. So anyway, that's a lot, but it just kind of came to mind as somebody, like I just hear buzz terms and I always relate them back to Louise, because as it suggested, she was one of the first self-help books, and it was more than 30 years ago when she was saying things like dis-ease and how you can heal your life. So yay her, she exited the planet a year ago, but she was a big part of my sister's family in particular, and just kind of in the circles that I'm familiar with. So anyway, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. So what are you thinking about that? Are you willing to accept that you chose your parents and that whatever happened to you, you brought on yourself? If you are, wow, good for you. No, thank you. I can't go there, but I'll pray about it. See if God has some insight for me on that. All right. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking, people. Let me know how you're doing. Are you being rained on? Is it snowing where you are? Are people getting crunched on the highway? I hydroplaned on the way home. I was just like, oh my gosh, Father, hold on. Honestly, oh my goodness. It has been insane here in California, as you know, from all the fires, which just wrecked so much of Southern California, to now rain in areas that have no ability to control the mudslides. We're in for it. But we do have sunshine, and we have a lot of healthy looking people from all the vitamin D, and I'll take it. All right. Peace be with you. And until we talk again, my friends, be blessed.